am here with Varvel, who is in one of the most incredible shows. You got to see it. You got to watch it. I love it, love it, love it. Andy on the show.
Yeah.
And but Brett, you've done so many things in your life. Your list is just so long. You even won a regional Emmy before you got out of college.
Yeah.
Like, this is in your blood.
Yeah.
You know, your dad was a famous guy.
Yeah.
And you've written with him. We've got so much to dive into, and such
Lots
a
to talk about.
Yeah, no kidding. So you wanted to be in the film industry since you were 5 years old?
Yeah. Yeah, 5 years old was a big year for me. So 5 years old was when I came to faith in Jesus Christ. It was also the year that I knew I wanted to become a filmmaker. I had seen the movie Back to the Future, and it just created such this emotional reaction in me, and I thought, I don't know how the moving and pictures and sounds are doing this to me, but I must do this one day. And it just started me on this journey of a love for film, and then eventually just, going from being self-taught to going into film school to learn the craft more professionally, and then God just leading me step by step, opening doors and closing doors to guide me in the path that He wanted me to go. And that's most recently culminated in being a part of County Rescue, which has just been the most incredible experience with an amazing cast, incredible crew, great director, and I'm just honored to be a part of it.
Yeah, well, I love the show, like I said, and you, everything that you've done. I love that your focus is faith-based,
Yeah.
right? And how faith-based entertainment has changed so much.
Yeah.
Like, it used to be, cheesy is the word that people like to throw around, right? And so there used to be a different quality than what you saw coming out of Hollywood, but now it's at least the level of Hollywood,
Yeah.
if not more.
I feel like we finally have started to turn a corner. We're reclaiming the art in many ways, because yes, the labels that people would put on it, that it was cheesy or whatever, they weren't wrong. It was rough to watch for a stretch of time there. But as artists have gotten better, I think one of the things that's really started to come to the surface is there's more honesty in the craft. There's a desire to not only be great at it, but constantly going back to that question of why. Why are we wanting to be great at this? What are we actually trying to communicate? And that's the thing I love about County Rescue, is that it's not just an entertaining show. Yes, it'll make you laugh, cry, it'll make your blood pressure spike a little bit with some of the action scenes and things like that. But it all points to those questions that we all struggle with on a day-to-day in our daily existence of, what is my purpose? What am I here for? How do I navigate the things that might happen to me that I didn't ask for? And hopefully people will see that there is hope in this life. It's found in the person of Jesus Christ. It's found in faith in God. And I think that the show beautifully packages that all together for everybody.
Absolutely, it really does. But I feel like it's a show for everybody and everybody,
is.
all ages, all whatever. And I love it because it's pretty groundbreaking. Because there's not been a series,
Right.
a faith-based series like in medicine, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's been over and over and over throughout the years these very successful shows
Right.
that are centered around medicine, centered around a hospital, centered around something. And so this is the first one.
Yeah.
And it's done so well. It is so good. Everything that you said about it, it's so true. And faith plays a big role,
Yeah.
but in a very natural way.
Very natural.
Right.
Yeah, and we're so humbled and grateful that Great American Family has taken the leap of faith with us. This is their first original series, and it's such an honor to be a part of that groundbreaking reality as well. But then in addition to, like what you were saying, it's a show that, yes, while it is a medical drama, is different from medical dramas that people may have seen in the past, because it answers those honest faith questions in a very relatable, very real way. But then it also carries you on. By the time you guys get to episode 5, you care deeply about these people, and you want to see where all the twists and turns are going to go and how it's going to pay off. And I can confidently say you're going to love how it all comes together, and then you're going to want more.
Yeah, well, I'm excited about that. And your character, Andy,
Yeah.
you're kind of in charge of things.
Yeah, so Chief Scotty, played by Tim Perez-Ross, he's the chief over everybody, but then I'm kind of second in command. I'm the captain of the group. And I would describe Andy as a small boy in a big man's body. He's just like the goofball. He can't help himself. He's stuck in the 90s. He loves to pull pranks on people. And so he brings a lot more of a lighthearted approach to a very heavy career. I mean, these people put themselves in harm's way. They see horrible things on a day-to-day basis, trying to save people's lives. And so Andy constantly brings back that lighter side of life to show people that that we can still have family and community and do this together and laugh and smile in the midst of tragedy, in the midst of hard things. So yeah, when duty calls, he does put a serious face on. He does, get into action, but more often than not, he's always looking for that laugh.
Yes, yeah, but he's also rich in faith.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
He's one of the characters that's, and his faith is.
Yeah,
so
he's grounded in his faith, and you see it come out here and there in certain episodes. But that was one of the conversations that Brian and I, the show creator, had a lot of conversation about the relationship between Andy and Ashley. So Ashley, played by Kristen Wallet, we talked a lot about how much does their faith define them. And Brian and I had this conversation about their faith is everything to them. They react in the field because of who they are in Christ. And you see that played out in different moments, sometimes subtly and sometimes very overtly. But like you said before, and I appreciate the compliment, all done in a very realistic way. And that's the thing we really wanted to accomplish with the show.
Yeah, well, you accomplished it
Thank you.
entirely. One of the things that I think, too, that people will get out of it, I mean, a lot of things people will get out of it, but one of the things is that sometimes people have a hard time bringing their faith to work with them,
Yeah.
right? Or to wherever they are.
Right.
They're afraid to speak up, or they're afraid to just let their face shine, just be who you are.
Right.
And this shows that you can, in any circumstance, in any job, you can be who you are.
Absolutely, and that's actually something that's been interesting for me as I've navigated the entertainment industry. There is a little bit of a stigma that people say it's got to be impossible to be a person of faith in the entertainment industry because of how Hollywood looks at religious ideology or whatever the case would be. But what I have found in my experience, and this is very evident in the way that we portray the characters in County Rescue, is that if you're just honest and you have a genuine love and respect for other people, all of that hostility and tension starts to melt away. You can have real conversations with people and get to the heart of who you are, even if they disagree with you. And I think that's the thing that I'm totally fine with if someone does not agree with my faith. But I want to hear what they believe in. Not so that I can beat them over the head with my faith, but just so I can show them, hey, I have found hope and peace and contentment in my life, and it's because of who the Lord is. And just being able to lovingly share that with people. And if they reject it, that's up to them. And I can't do anything to save them. I know that the salvation is all of the Lord and nothing that I can do. And that was something that I loved how it's navigated, specifically with the characters of Danny and Ashley in the show. You see how they have these honest conversations with one another about the real faith struggles. And what was cool is even that spilling out, it was kind of like art imitating life and life imitating art on our set, where we were able to have some really deep theological conversations while making the show County Rescue, and just experience one another's backgrounds as honestly as possible.
Wow. That has to be cool. It's
Yeah.
got to make for a fun set.
Oh, it was a blast. Oh my goodness, it was one of the most fun sets to be a part of. Every day brought a new challenge and a new wrinkle to the production experience. But specifically the cast, I can't speak highly enough of these people. We gelled really quickly. There is a real thing of on-set chemistry, and we had it from day one. There was this holding area where they kept most of us for when we weren't on camera, and we just got really personal really quick, and we just had the funnest time goofing off and playing games and to pass the time or whatever. But then and it really spilled over then when we were on camera together, because then that genuine affection that we had behind the scenes, it started to come out in the scenes that we were bringing to life. And I love those people so dearly. They're such great friends of mine now, and the whole crew was just a beautiful addition to the chemistry that we had. And so we're very hopeful we get to do more seasons.
Oh yeah. So watch. Everybody
Yes,
needs
go
to
watch it.
And tell lots of people to watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one more question for you.
Yeah.
You talked about how beautiful it was on the set, where you guys gelled right away. Is that common?
Not always. It's one of those things where you can't fake real chemistry. you can't fake real bonds that you form. I mean, yes, an actor's life is, I call it the art of pretending. It's your job to do whatever the script demands of you, essentially. But for me, the thing that I was so captivated by was how I saw God's divine orchestration over every cast member, every crew member that was there a year ago as we were creating the show, and big kudos to Brian Ball, our director, and Beverly Holloway, her whole casting department, for seeing the intangibles that really made the ensemble what it is today. Yes, they're extremely talented people. They're some of the most talented actors I've ever worked with. But at the same time, there was those intangibles that I think Brian and Beverly saw, and they thought, this is the ensemble to bring this cast to life.
Wow. Well, they did a great job of doing
Yeah,
that.
they did.
Okay, so I lied. I have one more.
Oh, go for it.
So, if you were to say to people, we already know we're telling people they should watch the show.
Yeah.
But if you were to say, this is the number one reason you should watch the show, this is the number one thing you'll get out of the show, what would you say?
I think the number one thing that I would say is that if you, while experiencing the different characters, you are going to discover that there is hope in the midst of your darkest moments of life. There is purpose that God has given to each and every one of us, and it's found through faith in Christ. I think you subtly see that throughout all the episodes, and that there's also hope and faith in dependability in community. That's the other thing that was so such a blessing to my heart as we were creating the show, is that we were never meant to do this life alone. So for anybody who's going to be watching the show, whether they're sitting down with their family or whether they're watching it by themselves, they're going to see the value of family and community like they've never seen before. Yes, it's going to have the love, romance angle, and it's going to have the action and those different types of elements that are there. But you're going to see that there's hope. And right now, as I look at our world, we live in a dark time, and there's a lot of darkness that's out there. And I think that County Rescue could be a bright, shining light in the midst of all of that darkness.
One word, yes, exactly. Well, and turn off Fox News and CNN.
Turn on Great American Family.
Right, exactly.
There you
Turn
go.
on Great American Family.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being here.
Appreciate
Tell
you.
everybody again where they can see it.
Yeah, so County Rescue hits Great American Pure Flix February 23rd, tomorrow. And then every episode will come out after that. February 26th, County Rescue episode 1 airs at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central on Great American Family. And you can go to the greatamericanfamily.com website, and they have a channel finder where you can see where your channel would be for your cable provider.
Yeah, and I seriously highly recommend this.
Yes,
Like,
thank
it's
you.
really, really good. So,
Thank you.
thank you again, and until next time.
We'll see you. Thank you so